Well, allow me to welcome you to a bowler's paradise, where days away from the lanes don't exist. You see, at the World Series of Bowling, we believe more is more. Day after day, best against best. The action never stops.
Get down 10! Oh, yeah. So much power, so much promise.
And what a way to kick things off, with a title everyone wants on their mantle. In a week that promises some memories.
Go, baby, blew up that wrap.
This major may be the sweetest.
Hambo, there it is!
The Guaranteed Rate PBA World Championship starts now on Fox.
This is beautiful Tampa, Florida, known around here as Tampa Bay, home of the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers, Stanley Cup champion Lightning, and today from AMF University Lanes, just minutes from the USF campus, we crown another champion, the third major of the season. 5 bowlers are here. Only one will take home the trophy and big prize money and a part of PBA history. Stepladder bowling today. We start with 2021 Players Champion Kyle Troupe against Chris Pye, hoping for his first career title. Winner takes on the lefty Jakob Butturff, winner of 7 titles and a major. Tackett waits in the 2-seed slot, a 2-time major champ, including this event. In 2016, and the #1 seed is the hometown hero himself, Tom Daugherty. Welcome, bowling fans, to the Guaranteed Rate PBA World Championship. Starting off the World Series of Bowling here on Fox. Great to have you with us, Dave Ryan, alongside the Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. And Randy, a spectacular Olympic-like event with 5 shows on Fox and FS1, 5 different champions over the next 5 days. And oh, by the way, if we have a 300 game at the championship match today, a $1 million bonus. That would be awesome. And oh, by the way, is Tom Brady the only Tom around Tampa who's famous these days?
Did you say Tampa Bay?
I did.
It's the first time I've heard that. I kind of like that. To answer your question, no. Did you know there's another famous Tom here in Tampa? And just like Tom Brady in Super Bowl 55 when he had the home field advantage, Tom Daugherty has the home field advantage here at University Lanes. The Tampa native has bowled thousands of games here in this center. And today, he's just one big game, one game away from winning his first major championship. Our #2 seed, Tackett, told us that his lackluster performances in the first 2 majors of the season fueled him for success this week. I mean, Dave, he was literally ticked off after the first 2 majors. Today, he looks to win his second WC. He knows how to win this event. He won the World Championship in 2016. And then our 5th seed, Kyle. Oh, the hair, the charisma, that game. Hottest player on tour, looks to win his second major in a month. But in order to do so, he'll have to climb the ladder. Impossible, you say? Francois Leblanc did just that 2 weeks ago at the Tournament of Champions.
Nothing is impossible with Troupe. There it is, the Fro with a pro. He is just fantastic, no question about that. Speaking of fantastic, Jason Belmonte has won this event 3 times in a row, the 6th-time PBA Player of the Year. Jason, who do you like today in our show?
G'day, boys. G'day, everyone at home. Look, I think it's pretty hard to go past Tackett. Hasn't won a major championship since 2017 when he won the TOC. But I will say this. There's a little part of me that's pulling for Tom Daugherty. Earlier today, my good mate Tom gave me permission to share with him that last year he suffered a heart attack. And we never know how many days we get on this beautiful earth of ours. So here he is with a second lease on life, with a chance to win his very first major championship. So there's a part of me that's really hoping for Tom today.
Belmo, that's big news, and we're so glad Tom's okay.
First I've heard of it.
Competing today for the World Championship, basically in his backyard.
Yeah.
Tom now joined by our Kimberly Pressler, lane 11.
Thanks, Dave. So, Tom, you know what? Oh, you might as well shut that off. We're on live television on Fox. But you know what? We just heard Jason Belmonte break some huge news that last year you had a heart attack. But you know what? This is not the first time that we've seen you in the 2021 season. We saw you at the Players Championship in the regional finals, and now you're the #1 seed today. So I have to ask, how are you feeling?
Yeah, Kimberly, it was a pretty dramatic event, but Belmo likes to exaggerate things and make things bigger than they are. It wasn't that big of a deal. I feel fine. I feel great. I'm glad you sent me the text this morning to wear yellow. I didn't know why, but it explains a lot now.
I did not do that, but you know what we did talk about, though, is we talked about the fact that you have bowled here for 30-plus years. Does that give you an advantage? Because you're only one win away from winning your first major.
I would like to say no, but I don't think anyone would believe me. I mean, I feel comfortable here. I've bowled here for, like you said, many, many years, a lot of action matches, bowled league here a few years ago, so I'm at home. I just feel comfortable, so I love this place.
Well, we're glad to hear that you are happy and doing well, and we will see you in the final match.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Kimberly, thanks so much. We are glad Tom is doing just fine and competing here. Match 1, Chris Vi against Kyle Troupe. Chris Vi was on this World Championship show last year in Vegas.
Bowling out of Penn Station in Newton, North Carolina, Kyle Troupe.
With a signature look that makes him one of the funkiest figures on the PBA Tour, Kyle Troupe is undeniably the pro with a fro. Son of bowling legend Guppy Troupe, you can tell the ball doesn't roll far from the tree, as Kyle brings kaleidoscope style and winning ways to the lanes just like his dad. With 7 national titles and 16 career 300 games, it's hard to believe this two-handed power player was working the counter at his local Wendy's just a couple years ago. One of the PBA Tour's brightest rising stars, will the pro with a fro be feeling groovy this time around? Pick it out, baby. This is Kyle Troupe.
Rising superstar on tour with the Florida Gator colors today. Some Gator fans bummed out. They were knocked out of the SEC tournament on the hoop side by Tennessee. The pro on our lanes here is ready to go. Underway. World Championship, 10-pin.
I'm surprised you didn't go with the University of South Florida colors, seeing how it's about.
We're literally 1 minute from the home of the Bulls
Like
here.
about a half a mile. Probably didn't have time to get the jersey made.
Won his Players Championship with the Kobe Bryant tribute Laker gear. 10-pin, got a mark.
Rolling out of Northridge Lanes in Springfield, Ohio, Chris Vi.
Say hi to Chris Vi. This 29-year-old hasn't won a PBA title just yet, but he's a fast-rising star who's ready to make his mark on the tour. With his all-American good looks, Vi is as famous for his two-handed bowling as he is for his mama's chocolate chip cookies. That's right, Mrs. Vi has been delivering her homemade goodies to PBA Tour stops all over the country, with a delivery that's a lot of touch with effortless power. Let's see him give it a try on this year's PBA Tour. This is Chris Vi.
Is this the day that Chris Vi breaks out for his first title? Arsenal, Randy, what do you think?
Yeah, that's basically the equipment that he lets tournament director know that he has at his disposal. Beautiful shot there. You know, let's not forget what this man has done in major championships. Even though he's only won 1 game on television, it took 300 to get that game under his belt, Jason.
Yeah, and you know, we had a joke about it actually afterwards. I said, there you go, Chris. Now you know how to win. You just got to throw 12 in a row. And now he's here with the first one. His bowling ball looks great through the pins on that first one. The biggest difference between that one and Kyle's is that just started to roll a little bit earlier. So it went through the pocket at a better angle of entry. And let's see if he can repeat that on the left lane.
Ten-pin. That will be common for the righties, the 10-pin. For Jakob Butturff, the 7-pin. The corner pins, this center guy's big challenge, right?
Yeah, I heard that Jason Belmonte left more 10 pins in this week in this event than he leaves in a year.
True?
I can't confirm nor deny if that is a factual representation of what happened.
It was a big number, though.
It certainly felt like that. No, this place is It is tricky. It is really, really tricky with the topography across the house. The older lane surface also meaning there's a lot more friction in the middle part of the lane. You do leave a lot of those corner pins.
And it's no wonder this oil pattern was named after one of the greatest ever, Earl Anthony, who won this tournament 6 times back when it was called the National Championship. I want you to think of the 7-8 board just to the right of second arrow as the gutter on the right side. The players get it outside of that. It's never going to hit the head pin. They're going to try to bank it right off of that zone. And Jakob Butturff has the whole left side to himself.
Challenging leave. 4-9 split up here for Kyle Troupe.
He's made this before on television. He's going to try to get his ball over here to the left side of the 4-pin and cut it into the 9.
First true test of the match. Here we go. And a whiff on the 4 open frame for Kyle Troupe. The oil pattern, by the way, Earl Anthony, named after the legend who won this event, was named something different early in the stages. 6 times. It's also the Earl Anthony Trophy that the winner receives today at the World Championship. Tough start for Kyle there at Belmo, but this guy can bounce back. We know that.
Yeah, it's early in the match. You know, I don't foresee super high scores today. So, you know, starting a little slow doesn't mean the death of you like it was at the Players' Championship.
Left lane, guys. Oh, almost a 7-10, which is near impossible to convert. It's just the 7. Corner pin.
Big rev right there at 20 miles an hour, so Kyle can keep that ball on the line, but almost disastrous there. Back-to-back open frames, both on pocket hits. Luckily, he rolls to the 10 late.
Uh-oh.
Kyle.
Real trouble now for Kyle Troupe. Back-to-back opens and a huge opening for Chris Vi, who looks today for his first ever PBA Tour title. What a moment it would be to win a major.
Yeah, and as the scores won't be too high today, the reason that I think that is because of the carry percentage been lower. So even though Kyle has opened up with a couple of early opens, the hard part for him is stringing strikes together to cover it up because of the characteristics of this house. He's going to have to really step it up.
25-pin lead entering the 3rd. And things looking really good here for the understated, very mellow Chris Vi, at least to us in meetings. You guys know him better as former players and players, but I mean, doesn't say a whole lot, does he?
Jason knows him better than I do. I just know what he's been doing on television lately, and he's been red hot.
Yeah, Chris, he's a great young guy. You know, he's actually one of the guys out here that helps me get a hookup with some sneakers every now and then. So
really?
He's into the sneaker game. We have a lot of conversations about.
Someone helps you with sneakers?
Yeah, look, they're not easy to get, so you need help. So, and Chris is one of my boys that, you know, will help me out here and there with...
That's breaking news, Bo.
with a plug on the shoes.
Left lane, tap of the 10, there it goes. Guaranteed rate PBA World Championship today. Then the Roth Holman PBA doubles tomorrow. Kyle Troupe, bowling right now, will be teamed with Jesper Svensson as defending champs. We'll be joined by the legend Marshall Holman as well. Can't wait to see Marsh coming up tomorrow. Cheetah, Chameleon, Scorpion wrap it up. Pretty fun time, guys, with 5 shows, 5 champions over 5 days on Fox and FS1.
I'm just wondering if they have eBay in Australia, huh? Jason, you can buy sneakers there.
Back to Kyle Troupe.
Ball change for Kyle, and
right through the nose.
It goes right through the nose, leaving the 3-6-10. And right now, early on, it looks like Chris Vi is creating a lot more angle through the front, as he's a good 4 boards left of where Kyle Troupe is, Jason.
Yeah, and it looks like already we can tell there is a vast difference between the left and right lanes. To me, I'm seeing there's a lot more push through the middle part of the lane on the right lane, which is then causing more angularity down lane. Now, that's great if you can actually hit the pocket in the right motion because you're going to get better carry. On the left lane, I'm seeing it read a little earlier. So it's causing less down lane motion. You're going to see a lot more 10 pins and 7 pins, I think, on the left lane, especially early in the telecast. So Kyle has to see that now. He's going to have to make some good shots, and hopefully he's going to start to get the ball, not just to hit the pocket, but to go through the pins correctly.
Down 35 pins. And we saw the long grind to get here. 56 games. The different oil patterns. There's a ring and 10 pin. And Kyle just can't find the strike. Look, guys, in these challenging conditions.
Jason, you start out and you strike, then it's 4-9, pocket 7-10, change balls and leave a 10 pin. What goes through your mind?
Yeah, this was something that I saw regularly this week. And this is what makes it even harder, okay? The oil pattern itself isn't too difficult, right? All week the lanes haven't been brutal, but the way the characteristics of this house are to string strikes, it made it so tricky to compile big games. Chris got that really lovely tap on the 10 pin for the double. Could have easily have been another spare. This is his better lane. He wants to capitalize on that little trip 10. Right now, we need to see a perfect shot.
Goes for the turkey, guys, and a 46 pin lead, but leaves the double wood 2-8 instead.
Jason, I'll just ask you this, because this is all my friends at home tell me. You're a professional. You're supposed to know how to adjust.
Yeah. I sometimes ask myself the same question. I'm a professional. I'm supposed to be able to adjust.
I mean, it doesn't come to a point in time where it just doesn't matter. You don't match up.
No, I will disagree with that. I think there's always an answer to the riddle that we see on the lanes. It's just whether or not you find it and whether or not you're clever enough to find it. I think the trickiest part about this bowling center is you can get stuck in a bowling ball for too long because you're getting to the pocket.
Right.
So you think, oh, maybe I just need to execute a little better. Then you go down the rabbit hole of trying to find the magic ball, and that's when you can also get yourself into a little trouble.
And Kyle Troupe, guys, told us yesterday, hasn't had a lot of time to enjoy that Players' Championship. Went right to the TOC in Jupiter and right to the World Series with all the qualifying on the 3 different animal patterns here in Tampa. He likes to wake up feeling aggressive, feeling ready to hunt, but the opposite has happened today. Strip flip thanks to Chris Vai's outstanding start. Kyle's struggles, and halfway home in match 1, Chris Vai trying for his first ever title has a big lead of 34 pins. We're underway, guys, from Tampa, Florida. Guaranteed rate PBA World Championship continues next here on Fox. The PBA on Fox is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Mortgage rates are historically low. Save money at rate.com today. And by Kia, introducing the all-new Sorrento, the world's first storytelling machine. All right, Randy, here's today's Flow Bowling Tournament highlight.
Now, it's position round. Don Barrett had a shot at getting in, the 2013 World Championship winner, but he struggled coming down the stretch, struggled late. It was all Chris Vai stringing him against Dom. Dom would finish 7th. Take a look at Chris Vai as he strings him in that position round match, and he goes into 4th. But I think the most impressive story was this man right here, 61-year-old Walter Ray Williams Jr. making the cut. No Jason Belmonte, no Anthony Simonson, no Frankie Lavoie, but Walter Ray Williams Jr. makes the cut into the top 16 and finishes 14th. Great job, WRW2. You know why he made it, though? You see that bag of Skittles sitting right next to him?
Look at all the Skittles.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Remember Marshawn Lynch?
Of course.
The Beast?
Absolutely.
What did he used to eat before games?
Tons of Skittles.
Skittles.
That's what fueled him to all that greatness with the Seahawks. Walter Ray Williams Jr., 47-time titleist, 8 majors. Congrats to Old Deadeye. Great finish this week. His home state of Florida. Back to Kyle. 6th frame, down 34. Down big. Can he make a comeback in the second half of this match? Let's find out. 4-7.
Another good shot. Wow.
I think one of the unique things about Kyle's style, being a two-handed delivery, is how square his body is. I want you to watch his hips. I mean, this is like a regular bowler, or I shouldn't say regular bowler with Jason Belmonte to booth, a bowler that uses their thumb and how much more square their body is. I remember watching the show with the boys and the girls, and Spencer Robards, the two-handed lefty, and how sideways he would get going to the foul line. So Troupe, very unusual. I think it just goes to prove that there's so many different ways of using this technique. Jason Belmonte a little more sideways. Simonson way more tilt, way more spine tilt going into the foul line. Chris Vi kind of in between Belmo and Troupe. Jason, what do you do now? I mean, it's coming to the end of the game. You're down 37, and your ball, when it does hit the pocket, doesn't strike.
Yeah, he's running out of time too. So whatever his move is, he's going to have to make it from here on in. My best bet would be to stay right where he is and just decrease the ball speed a pinch. I think on that left lane in particular, there is so much more hook in the fronts. Giving that ball just a little bit more time down lane to mix them up a little more might help. If you watch Chris and the way that Chris is attacking the lanes, I think his ball speed is a fraction lower. He's getting an opportunity to get to the break point to roll a little sooner off of it. And it seems, when he throws a good shot, to have good angle of entry.
Well described, Belmo. They've run in the booth with the Hall of Famer Randy Peterson and future Hall of Famer Jason Belmonte, 6-time Player of the Year. Kimberly Pressler with us, lane level as well. Great breakdown there. Chris Vi looks good, guys.
All right, and take a look at Chris Vi's lower body. You can see how he's a little bit more open with the hips than Kyle Troupe is. He's a big man, big, tall guy, strong, gym rat. So he's very athletic, obviously. But again, there's just so many different ways of using this technique.
And I think that's a really good point, Randy. I think a lot of people see two-handed bowling and assume that everyone should be the same. And yet, with a traditional style, we never put everybody into the same category. Everyone has their own unique way to do it. And here, Chris and Kyle and myself and Anthony and Jesper and all the other two-handers on tour, we all do it our own way.
Right.
57-pin lead for a guy who, until the East Regional throwing 300 game, had never won on TV. The 30th all-time televised PBA 300 game at Jupiter, the East Regional part of the Players' Championship.
Yeah, Dave, the two easiest ways to win a game on television is to either shoot 300 or have your opponent only strike once in the first 8 frames.
First strike of the match there for Kyle Troupe. Amazing, Belmo. You're right. I mean, he just didn't have a look. And that was part of the conversation, guys, we had with all of the finalists today. The transition, how challenging the lanes would be. Kyle Troupe thought with his tour reps, he had a really good game plan going in, how to grind it out. But it hasn't worked out today.
Well, I just think it goes to show you just how tough it is to win on television.
Look, we get 10 frames, 5 on each lane. If you're not completely comfortable, the game goes incredibly quick.
Jason, he did look over at his tour rep and made a motion that almost looked like he's trying to roll it a little more end over end.
Well, and he kind of had a little chuckle to himself as the ball was about 45 feet down the lane because he knew that was going to strike. He also knew that the change that he made was something that probably was a little more obvious to him. He didn't use it in the first 7 frames, and now it's cost him the win in the opening match.
Yeah, great point.
So it appears that Kyle Troupe's bid for an 8th career title to tie his dad Guppy with 8 career championships. We'll have to wait. High shot, the least effective shot of the day here for Chris Vi, the 4 seed, but he has got a comfortable lead. Late stages of the first match here from Tampa.
3, 6, 9, 10. Not all that difficult to cover the 3, 6, and the 10, but the problem is this guy back here, the 9-pin. Seen a lot of players start throwing it straight with a little bit of a backup ball at the 3-9, Jason. because sometimes the old pattern doesn't allow you to hook the ball into that spare.
Covers nicely. So guy went 8-0, first round of match play. When he got his look, he didn't look back. And now he appears to be on the very verge of knocking off Kyle Troupe. Kyle, Belmo said yesterday, win the day. He's thinking about being in the Player of the Year conversation and knock you off the throne. You've done it 6 times in your incredible career. So that may have to wait a while, but still, Kyle Troupe's off to a tremendous start to the year.
Yeah, he absolutely has started the season red hot. And sometimes, you know, those little thoughts of, you know, the end of your accolades can creep in early. And today, did it affect him? Maybe. But one thing I know for sure is he'll learn from this experience, the way his mindset is coming into a match like this, and he's only going to get better.
U.S. Open last year, knocked out opening round. Last year, the World Championship in Vegas, knocked out in the opening round. He advances today here in Tampa at the guaranteed rate. PBA World Championship, an impressive win over Players champ Kyle Troupe. Jakob Butturff awaits as the 3 seed, the lefty trying for another major championship. EJ Tackett and the hometown hero himself, Tom Daugherty, are the 2 and 1 seeds here in Tampa. Jakob Butturff, the lefties, getting set. Looking for some super southpaw production today. Head-to-head with Chris Vi. It's on the way. Francois Lavoie, TOC. Climbing the ladder, Randy, that was something.
Yeah, it was a little unexpected based on the talent that was on that telecast with Jason Belmonte, Anthony Simonson, just to name a couple. But Francois, I'll tell you what, his touch and accuracy and shot making was incredible that day.
Players Championship, Kyle Troupe as the 1 seed. Francois Lavoie climbs the ladder for a 3rd career major after winning a couple U.S. Opens. And PBA World Championship today. Already 1 match in the books as Chris Vi knocks off Kyle Troupe. We'll go to the PBA Super Slam April 18th on Fox, and that's in the D.C. area. Should be a lot of fun. Part of a great 2021 guaranteed rate PBA Tour season on Fox and FS1. So thoughts on the first match? Kyle Troupe had his struggles, couple early opens, and he really couldn't recover.
Yeah, I mean, it was all Chris Vi, and I think that Jason Belmonte made a great point. At the end of that, you could see Kyle kind of realize that he kind of had the wrong game plan and figured it out too late. But I'll tell you what, Jakob Butturff, you never quite know what you're going to get. But one thing I do know is Jakob Butturff can strike. And if he has a good ball reaction, he's the only lefty. He'll have the left side of the lane to himself. And if he has a good look and he can execute, I think nobody gets near him today.
He told us yesterday maybe the best shape of his life. He's lean, he's mean, and ready to win a major championship here today. PBA playoffs points are, of course, so important, Randy, as we look into the latest numbers. There's Tom Daugherty at number 3, a chance to get a whole lot done today with a win in his backyard.
Yeah, some great names on that list. The guy in 7th, BJ Moore, I think is, I think he's going to become a champion here real soon.
Jakob Butturff on that second page. There is Chris Vi as well.
Is that a typo?
No.
Are you sure?
No. That's Belmo.
No.
After Chris Vi on the second page of the points list.
Well, yeah, but he's got he's got the last spot. Jason Belmonte at 16th.
Making the cut for now. We'll talk with Belmo about that in a moment.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him about that.
First, we look forward to, right after the break, Chris Vi, Jakob Butturff, head-to-head. The 3 and 4 seeds at all is on the way here on Fox. Ready to bowl. Second matchup, World Championship in Tampa. Jakob Butturff, lefty, the 3 seed against Chris Vi, who just KO'd the Players Champ winner. Kyle Troupe bidding for his 8th career title. That'll have to wait for a pro with a fro. Even-keeled, soft-spoken, steely-eyed determination for this guy. He is focused. And he's gotten out of a major television show opening match for the first time in his career. Trying to climb the ladder. Butturff is next. High shot.
I mean, the pattern looked like what makes
Belmo, what'd you see there?
Yeah, well, he's made a massive change, to where he's playing on the lane. One of the things that I was surprised was when the match was over, he didn't make a ball change in the 10th to just have a look at something different. But his move was a lot further left, a little slower, same ball.
You would have done that?
I'm not entirely sure what I would have done, to be honest.
Bowling out of AMF Mesa Lanes in Mesa, Arizona, Jakob Butturff.
What happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas when it comes to Jakob Butters Butturff. Repping the Sin City, Butters throws the ball with reckless abandon, leaving opponents and announcers just scratching their heads. His style may be unorthodox, but it works. He's stacking up titles fast and even bowled a televised 300 game. Butters is bringing his Vegas style and going all in on the PBA Tour. Will his poker face best the competition, or will someone else be holding pocket aces? This is Jakob Butturff.
A lone lefty on our show today here in Tampa. Starts his day. There's his arsenal. Across the deck, but no help on the 7. Where was the help?
There was a lot of players here throughout the World Series that said the same thing, Dave. But head pin in front of the 7 as we take a look. Ball going down lane, hooks back, head pin goes across, and looks like it could have used a Snickers.
Not a Skittles, but a Snickers.
Snickers, one of our sponsors. Not to mention that commercial where, you're not yourself.
Those are funny.
That head pin wasn't itself on that shot.
Tough conditions. And a tough event. Belmont, what makes this World Series so challenging?
Man, not just any World Series, not just this World Series, but any World Series. It's a culmination of so many patterns, so many games. It's also what makes it so special is every day with all the animal patterns, you're in with a chance at a new tournament. But at the end of the day, all us players really want the World Championship, which is the culmination of your scores through the entire World Series.
Take a look at the unique style of Jakob Butturff, that cupped wrist, and then how he continues to slide as he's releasing the bowling ball. The big question that I have is that Jakob is only 26 years old. How long can he possibly use that same style, rolling that bowling ball up on his wrist like that, before his forearm says, oh heck no, I'm not doing this anymore?
Well, mate, coming from experience, I've heard my entire life, all the way through my teens and 20s, that I won't be bowling in my 30s and 40s, and here I am, 37 years old, still doing what I'm doing. So I think everyone's unique. Everybody has their own, their bodies have their own, what am I trying to say here? In terms of injuries, Jakob's bowled like this his whole life. He's built muscles in that forearm that you and I have not built. So I'm not one to be here and say, he's going to cause himself some injury, but I can tell you right now, if anyone else in the world tried to do it right now, they would get hurt.
Close matchup, guys, when they met earlier in this event. 10-pin differential, left lane there, high shot. 3, 6, 9, 10, stand here for Vi.
Yeah, left of target, and he knew it, and there's just not enough buildup in the middle part of the lane to hold it off. But again, we saw him make this earlier, where you want to get the ball into this zone here and have enough traction to drive that back pin out the 9-pin.
Yeah, Randy, I think that left lane is going to be the tricky one for the right-handers because of that early friction. Even in the opening game when the oil was at its freshest, we could see that the ball was rolling earlier and bleeding down lane.
Lots of cover. Can he do it again, guys? Yes, he can.
It's a great spare.
Really impressive for the 4 seed.
So the further left that the right-handers are going to go on that left lane, the trickier, I think, it's going to be to not just hit the pocket, but even strike. So we've seen Chris use that same ball now twice on that left lane. It would surprise me if we saw it again on the left lane, but we may see it again on the right.
And our stats are telling us he's actually 5 boards deeper on that left lane.
Strike for Jakob Butturff. Was a lot happening on and off the lanes, and Kimberly has more with that.
I do. So in January, after what Jakob called 4 consecutive poor performances on TV, Jakob took to social media and admitted to thoughts of quitting. Now, after reflecting on the inscription of a bracelet he wears daily that his mother, Bridget, gave him before she passed, he thought otherwise. The quote on the back of it, "Believe in yourself and remember that you only fail when you stop trying," inspired him so much that just yesterday he told us, "This week I bowled like 2019 Jakob," which says a lot. Since that was his best year on tour, winning 3 titles, one of them a major championship.
And Kimberly, with shots like that, he does look like the 2019 Jakob he told us about yesterday. Lost his mom to cancer in November, but clearly she's with him every day. And he bowls in her honor.
But that was a great report. It was beautiful just to read that bracelet.
Agreed.
Thanks for that, Kimberly.
And I think everyone listening needs to find their own motivation when trying to achieve their own dreams.
Chris Pye. Good looking shot. 10 stands.
Just keep an eye on these numbers right here when he gets up on the left lane. So he's at 4th arrow, at the arrows, going out to about the 8th board. And again, special thanks to Lane Talk for some of these great numbers and stats that we get. For more information on their great technology, go to lanetalk.com.
10-pin cross lane. Randy's got that, got his mark. Tonight, live from MSG Madison Square Garden, it's the Big East Tournament Final. Georgetown takes on Creighton. It all tips off at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Madison Square Garden?
NYC.
Where do the Knicks play?
Madison Square Garden.
And why don't they let Patrick Ewing in the building?
Patrick Ewing could become the first coach to lead a team picked last in the preseason Big East poll all the way to the Big East Championship. Can he win it at MSG with his number and name in the rafters?
His jersey's in the rafters. If they let him in, they have a chance to win. Better. So again, remember we talked about looking at these numbers, and Jason, 2.5 boards left at the arrows, but a good almost 3 boards right at the break point. And we talked about that when we first did the oil pattern, that you couldn't get it outside a certain spot down lane, otherwise it won't get back.
Yeah, what's interesting reading and looking at those Specto numbers there is that he's still using the same ball. I think watching that ball motion now, especially with Jakob with 3 in a row, we're going to have to see a change in the middle of this game. That ball, it's just reading a fraction too early for him, so it won't be able to create hold, and if he tries to push it through, which he just did then, and he said that was a good shot, well, now it's lost all of its gusto down lane and it won't make the corner.
He's been here before on this big stage. There's a 7-pin. Of your 3 world championships, does one stand out more? Last year was amazing in Vegas with your family there from Australia. That was
I think that's the one. You know, I very rarely get a chance to have my family over here with me, so to have them all watching in Vegas was pretty special. Although I'll tell you, beating Jakob in 2019 was for the record for the major championship. So I tell my family, I'm like, hey, that was one of, if not the most special win, but I'll tell you right now, that's really close behind is that record-breaking one.
We love having you in the booth, but of course we want to see you out there in the lanes.
I hate it. Sorry, guys. I want to bowl.
I know you do.
Have you signed your contract yet?
Left lane, Buttraw, looking good.
Looking real good.
Halfway home, match 2. He's got a nice lead. Head-to-head with Chris Vi. We'll wrap up the second match. For the World Championship in Tampa, Florida. It's all the way here on Fox. Midway point, second match here at the Guaranteed Rate PBA World Championship. Jakob Butturff, 26 years old, looking for his 8th career title and another major here on Florida's Gulf Coast today. Let's take a look, Randy, at Strike Track, powered by Kia.
Well, what's interesting is even though you've got two completely different pullers, they're crossing each other's lines, but the break point is absolutely identical. And so I guess you can draw a couple conclusions from that. Maybe the lanes are fairly even, both left to right, but keep in mind, Jakob Butturff, he's throwing urethane or non-reactive, and Chris Vi is throwing reactive, and Jakob Butturff he was the number 3 seed, and the next highest left-hander was Packy Hanrahan, and I think he finished 33rd.
Back to Vi. Turned away, didn't like it, but he's got a strike. Need that, Belmo.
Yeah, and he opted to stay with that stronger cover high road max bowling ball. Perhaps this is something that he had seen all week. This was his adjustment during the qualifying stages and through the match play. However, with the scores of what they are, Jakob having a turkey, Chris yet to throw a double, he's going to have to get a strike now. And we do have a ball change on this left lane.
Chris Vi, you bet.
Shot.
Think he waited too long, Jason?
No, I don't think it's too long yet. I think he needed to make it then at the latest, and he made a great ball choice and a great execution of delivery. It's never easy, ball changing when working on a strike. You don't want to guess wrong, and with it been relatively late in the match, he didn't have a lot of time to make up for an errant shot. So nice shot to Chris.
Butturff to go up by 21 from the turkey. 7-pin stands on a good shot. Seven, there's the mark. And a rough start, as he told us. With the cheater pattern. We'll get into that in a moment after we look at Butturff in action, Randy.
Yeah, take a look again at that wrist and how he gets that hand not only cupped, but to the inside part of the bowling ball. And then look at that follow through on the way out. He told us he was trying to get it to roll more end over end. Again, watch his finish. And look at his hand position. Right there. Wow.
That is execution. Game 1 cheater pattern, a 133 called back home to his coach, Jordan Nasberg, who was watching him on flow and said, look, you just don't look comfortable. Millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play for kids and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Text PLAY to the number on your screen to help keep kids in the game. It's a great initiative. Here's Vi. Oh, yeah. Those pins had no chance, fellas.
You're right, Dave. That's if you want to strike, that's a good spot to hit the 1-3 when you're right-handed. Jason, sticking with that same bowling ball on the right lane, made the change on the left. You like the changes?
I certainly like the one on the left lane. I think the one on the right lane, I can't imagine he's going to be in that ball for too much longer after this match.
Because?
Well, it's going to force him further and further left and open those angles up. He's going to want to go to something like he is using here on the left lane that creates a little bit more push through the fronts naturally and allows him to create the angle down lane without having to manifest it at the bottom.
Great match here, guys. Vi trying to go up by 9. Needs a strike for that, but leaves his 10-pin instead. That's a big non-strike in the foundation frame for Chris Vi.
And this is what this place does. One frame, the pins look like they're as light as feathers, and then the next frame, you throw a very great shot, almost identical, and it's like someone put lead weights in all of the 10 pins.
Like they fall in slow motion.
Vi across lane has his 10. That was a big subject, fellas, of our conversation yesterday with all 5 finalists, that this was going to be very challenging, and you'll see a lot of corner pins and a lot of spares.
4 out of 5, because when we spoke with our tournament leader, Tom Daugherty, he said, yeah, that's the problem everybody had, but I know this place, and I figured out a way to get my ball to go through the pins correcally.
He sure did.
This is a big
Hometown
shot
advantage
for Jakob, boys. I think his best lane is the left lane. If he strikes here,
Which he
great
does.
shot, gets the 4 pin to do its job on the 7. This now, his preferred lane, needing just 9 spare strike to shut out Chris Vi on his preferred lane. That was a huge shot after a ringing 7 and a flat 7 there on that right lane. You can just see how many times that urethane ball rotates down the lane, and he needed every single one of them for the 4 pin to do its job there on the 7 pin.
Chris Vi playing the left and right lane completely different. Jakob Butturff playing both lanes the same. Urethane advantage.
Left lane, big shot, guys. Yes, for Butturff.
I think it's more lefty advantage than it is urethane advantage. I think that he'd been the only lefty on the show. Less practice balls have gone down his side of the lane. It's only him who is manipulating that side of the lane. So I think we're going to see, less change from Jakob than we are the right-handers. And I will also add that there may even be some topography issues that the right-handers are going to struggle with the further and further left they move. Jakob might not have to worry so much about that.
Right. Well, he's going to take on EJ Tackett in our next match. But a great game bowled by Jakob Butturff. And I said it when we were sitting at the desk prior to the start of this match, Dave. I said if Jakob has any kind of look to the pocket and he executes, I don't think anybody beats him today. And he just showed you that here in his first match.
The only thing that's going to slow him down, Randy, is the carry down of oil with the urethane ball in a facility that's already difficult to strike in.
To the 4th seed, the run for Chris Vi is going to end looking for his first career title. On a big stage here in Tampa.
Really impressed with Chris, though.
Absolutely. Great win over Kyle Troupe.
This is now 4 major telecasts in a row for Chris Vi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I think
he got his win today.
Open.
First major win today.
Yeah, US Open last year, World Championship, and now the Players Championship in this one too.
We'll take a break. This one wrapped up for Jakob Butturff. He will move up the step ladder. Who's next? EJ Tackett, winner of this event. Never forget that. The National Bowling Stadium in Reno, hugging his dad after he won it. The big jump, the big hug. Well, EJ's back in action. Been a while since he's won. 2019 PBA Tour Finals in Vegas. He's up next. The on-lane graphics you see today, including the ball tracer, courtesy of Clutch Bowling. Looking good, guys, as always. Awesome.
Love Clutch Bowling.
Ready for the next match. EJ Tackett, Jakob Butturff, head-to-head. This one is going to be special. Can EJ return to the winner's circle? Same for our lefty. Trying for a big championship today in our 3rd match. Got to get by this guy. First, EJ Tackett. Question with EJ, is he all the way back? Also, Randy, something you wanted to mention.
Yeah, we just want to send our thoughts and prayers out to the family of Mo Pinnell. His work was revolutionary in ball motion and drilling specs, and Mo passed away last week. He was an iconic figure who made a great impact on how the game is played today. So all of our thoughts and prayers and well wishes go out to Mo's family and friends.
Bowling out of Easy Bowl in Bluffton, Indiana, E.J. Tackett.
Straight-laced E.J. Tackett may not strike fear from his size alone, but strike he does. Small but mighty, Tackett's power is unbelievable, with a fast delivery and remarkable release that has some calling him the best one-handed player on tour. Fighting for his 14th title, the former Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year is already Hall of Fame eligible at only 28 years old. Don't let his frame fool him. Tackett is as talented as they come, and he's poised to make headlines on this year's PBA Tour. This is E.J. Tackett.
Wants to move on from 13 to 14. Career titles for E.J. Tackett as we check his arsenal. His day in Tampa starts here, left lane. 10-pin.
This guy's like a mongoose, Jason. He's not really all that big in stature, but when it comes to physical ability and talent, he's got all of it.
Yeah, I've been saying this for more than half a decade. I've considered EJ my biggest rival out here on tour.
Whoa, watch it, guys. Missed the 10-pin. Early mistake, early open for E.J. Tackett.
Well, he still is my biggest rival.
Yes. As soon as we start talking nice about somebody.
Wow.
EJ was always the one guy every single week, and now Anthony Simonson is joining that list where you look over your shoulder and there they are.
It's those two guys.
Those two nearly every single week.
Last 5 strikes. First match win, Butturff over Chris Vi, and a good start to his second match. Takes care of business on the right lane.
Looks like he lofts this shot a little bit. Watch this. Absolutely does. Remember what that non-reactive bowling ball does, because the surface on that bowling ball is so strong, it really drives out the front part of the lane and then pushes oil down towards the head pin. So players that use the non-reactives, they're making adjustments just about every other shot. Remember Kyle Troupe in the first game left the 4-9. This is the lefty's 4-9, the 6-8.
6-8 split.
Yeah, he's getting every little bit of that bowling ball too. And what I mean by that is he's creating, I think, the maximum amount of revs that he possibly can. And he's trying to get that ball to go a little higher into the pocket because of the characteristics of this place. Unfortunately, that time, just a pinch too high, but I think he's on the right track. He's going to have to get the ball to go more high flush in this building than he is half pocket.
So the open for EJ, and Butturff returns the favor with his own open to keep us tight here, early going. EJ said to us yesterday, guys, at the TOC and the players in Jupiter, he felt like he threw the ball really well, but then some bad ball reaction from time to time, just couldn't overcome that. Physically, he feels he's throwing the ball great. Just got to make his adjustments.
What's interesting is look how late EJ's getting that ball to turn the corner. Most of the other players have been, especially through conversations this week, everybody's trying to get their ball to face up a little sooner. EJ, on the other hand, is really getting that ball to slide down there with a very aggressive angle late. What this means is if he can get it to go through the pins the right way, I think he's going to have a little bit bigger pocket. If it's a little wrong, well, we might not see him strike too much.
Kimberly, EJ's been a busy bowler.
He sure is. So out of the 96 athletes competing at the World Series of Bowling this week, EJ is the only bowler to qualify for all 5 match play cuts. And yesterday he secured the #2 seed for the doubles championship, airing tomorrow with his teammate Marshall Kent. Now, in the past 6 days, EJ has bowled 72 games, and at the end of the World Series, he will have bowled nearly 100 in pursuit of making the other 3 Animal Pattern TV finals. When I asked 28-year-old EJ how he was doing physically, he just had one word for me, and it was tired.
And Kimberly's tired of tough leaves like this. That's a great report on how busy EJ has been. Fellas, tough conversion.
2-4-8-10. He's going to try to throw a hook into that 2-pin and really cut it thin. Try to throw a couple pins over into the 10. Oh, that was a
pin count.
That was a fraction from making it.
And that's the risk you run when you have such a late break point down lane, is if you are a little firm or you don't get your angles right, your ball has the ability to get too far behind it, leaving those pins. Chris and both Kyle in the first match, their ball was rolling a lot sooner. Their bad shots were not punished nearly as much as EJ's was then.
Butturff takes advantage. EJ's open frame again. Tomorrow on Fox, the best season ever continues in the desert as the NASCAR Cup Series heads to Phoenix for the Instacart 500. The action begins tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Great racing tomorrow. Great bowling here today in Tampa. First major came in 2019. SBC Masters wants another one here today.
Yes.
All 10 back.
He is wailing on it at the bottom of the swing right now.
Yeah, and that's a big strike for the double. What that does now is it forces EJ, if he does get a strike in the fourth, to go back to that troublesome left lane, requiring a double to stay in this match. That's a huge double for Jakob, and he kind of let us know that by letting out a little yes at the end of it.
Here's Tackett. 10 pin.
Just too late, too long down the lane. Jason, is because the ball is too shiny, or it's not an aggressive enough bowling ball, or is it a combination of the two?
It's so hard to say, Randy, because you've got to understand that for the entire World Series, this has been the ball shape that may have worked for EJ, and now we're on television. It's not working right now. He's going to have to think quick on his feet. For me, if he's really comfortable using that ball and that ball shape, then the ball speed has to decrease. He has to get that ball shaping up a little sooner so it goes through the pocket at a better angle of entry. He's going to have to make that change right now, because another open frame in the fifth may have just sealed his fate early in this match already.
EJ told us great memories of 2016. Winning this event in Reno. There's a strike.
So much better, Randy. That ball speed, yep, just as you circle it, gives the ball a little more time to read the end of the pattern, to shape through the pins a little more consistently and a little stronger. He's got the rotation to do it.
Yeah.
So now it's a game. Now if he can repeat that, Jakob's going to have to keep stringing the strikes together.
Half a mile an hour slower for EJ Tackett on that last shot.
Right lane for Buttraw.
Oh.
Just a 6-pin. That could have been a lot worse there for the lefty.
Had the big four standing there for a bit. Nice break for both EJ Tackett and Jakob Butturff. And what I mean by that is Jakob didn't strike to extend his lead. So that's good for EJ, but also for Butturff, he didn't split.
Six pin, no worries there. And has his mark. Jakob told us last night, when we spoke with him at our players meeting, so emotional to lose his mom. And just 5 days after she passed in November, he went to California and won a regional. And he said it told me that even though it's so painful to lose my mom, they were very close, that he could move on with his bowling career and have success again. Meant a lot to Jakob.
And there we're starting to see a little of that transition. Two shots now, one on the right lane that read a little sooner than he would have liked to go high. That one there didn't read nearly as much as the frames before. It's going to be very, very interesting if EJ can roll the next 2 strikes in a row, because then I think advantage to EJ, even with his slow start.
5-6 does cover, has his mark. A lot of bowling left here, guys.
Yep, lots. Can EJ Tackett make a run at that man right there who currently has the lead? EJ Tackett working on a strike, looking for 3 in a row when we come back.
We can't wait. The World Series of Bowling continues tomorrow on FS1 as the PBA hits the lanes in the Roth-Holman Doubles Championship. And the defending champs, Jesper's Svensson, Kyle Troupe. This reaction was unforgettable. See what Duo can strike it rich and take home the title tomorrow, 3 Eastern, on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Svensson, Troupe reunited. That would be the 5 seed this year. Take on Matt Ogle, Sean Rash in the first match. 3 seed Andrew Anderson, Chris Prather, Marshall Ken, and EJ Tackett up here are the 2 seeds, and Tom Daugherty, our 1 seed today, also the top seed at Roth-Holman tomorrow. Team with BJ Moore. Could be quite a couple days for Tom Daugherty. Back to EJ, looking for help. Gets his help. Kicking out number 10.
Just Jackie Chan, the 10 pin right there for EJ Tackett. EJ Tackett, how about EJ Wackett? Watch this shot.
It's a sweep the leg. It's a Cobra Kai reference.
It is.
Right there.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep it, EJ.
Oh,
that was beautiful. And I tell you what, it couldn't have happened at a better time for EJ.
Big moment for Tackett.
For me right here, this is the one. Right now, if EJ just 10 back on this shot, that's going to play in Jakob's head a little bit, and it's going to give EJ a whole lot of confidence coming down the stretch.
Looks for a 3rd major.
It's pretty good.
Oh,
that's
sure was,
so
Belmo.
good.
It sure was. Pure.
That's what makes our game so tricky, Randy and Dave. I mean, Randy, you know you did it your whole life. The subtle change. We're talking about a half a mile difference between splits and ring 10s, and seriously, no chance to win this match. Half a mile an hour slower, now in the driver's seat.
7-frame response, Butturff, right lane. Looking for help himself from the messenger, but no cross deck or any spinning pin to help on the 10 pin.
I'll tell you what, with the spare here from Buttraw, we're all even. And again, I think Jason hit it right on the head. We saw these micro adjustments that the players make week in and week out. We saw Kyle Troupe do it at the Players' Championship halfway through that title match when he got just a little bit softer, created a little bit more angle, and was able to start stringing late to win that. So Buttraw, let's take a look to see what kind of changes he's made from his first game to the second. Match 2, that was his first game as the red ball. Match 3, this game here, and just a couple of boards difference. But I think he's going to make another adjustment. Remember, he started this game off, he was really whacking it at the bottom of the swing, trying to get a handful, and right now he's lost pocket. Ball looks like it's hooking early, doesn't know how far left to get it, and all of a sudden now he's having trouble hitting the pocket, Jason.
Yeah.
Big miss inside.
Well, and the last time he was on that lane, he left nearly the bucket. So he didn't want to send it as far left, wasn't too confident that it was going to hook back, so he did miss right of target. What would be interesting to see is, after hearing confirmation from his tour rep, Chuck Gardner, Jakob has 3 other of those particular urethane balls at his disposal. Coming down the last 2 frames, does he stay with the one he brought to the dance, or does he go to the bag and pull a miracle out of the bag? I think he should change to something else, but maybe if EJ opens the door, it might give him a reason to stay with it.
Early frustration, guys, for EJ. Struggled. Started the match now. There's a 9-pin. Really good-looking shot. Trying to take control late.
Well, as good as that break was in the 6th frame, that break there was equally as bad.
I feel like there should be a rule. If you hit the pin and it wobbles, you know, you should be allowed to jump or do something to
get
knock
credit
it over.
for it.
It's so close.
Create some more.
It's so as difficult as it is to
movement.
strike today, to like literally hitting the pin and not knocking it over.
Enter today, guys, for the first ever global tournament, the PBA Bolero Global Rumble, powered by Lane Talk. Head to PBA.com to find a participating center for a chance to compete for a total prize fund of $50,000. Other prizes courtesy of Motive and KR Strike Force. Join the competition at PBA.com/rumble today.
Well, no matter what, if E.J. Tackett strikes here in the 9th frame, he cannot be shut out. Big shot here.
Yeah, and a big strike.
Come on.
Responding to the moment like a major champion.
The other thing that strike does for the scoreboard is it keeps EJ ahead on count. So if Jakob doesn't throw a double, then neither does EJ. He doesn't have to. That one pin keeps EJ in front, needing the doubles.
Check out this strike track here. Oh, maybe we can get it back up. So that ball was a lot different than the last shot on that lane. Definitely inside of the last shot, but I think he made a big move to the right with his feet and brought his eyes in with it.
Now will it work on the left lane?
Go back on top, left lane. Yes.
He's brought everything in.
That's a really, really good shot from Jakob. He was lost on that lane. To get the ball to just go light enough to mix them up, that's a great hit for him. It's also forced EJ now to need at least the first one in the 10th. Another one right now forces EJ to get 2 in the 10th. This is going to be an interesting final frame.
Whatever Butturff does in the 10th frame, EJ has to do in the 10th frame to win by 1.
What a finish. What's better than a great finish in a major? Not much.
Well, after the last shot that he carried the light mixture on, Jason, he put a real good touch on that shot right there.
You know, and that's one of the things about Jakob that we see all during the week is his ability to close out a match when you think he's dead. He just has this knack for just finding 4 great shots to finish off a game. And in this case, it's going to put a world of pressure on E.J. Tackett.
4 straight strike. No. Ooh. 9 pin this time.
And that's big because now E.J. Tackett just needs 2 and 9.
Yeah, well, he's lucky he got 9. That could have easily have been a 6 count or a 7 count there. So now the job in front of EJ, 2 strikes, 9 for the win. On the lane he previously messengered the 10 pin and then stone 9. For me, it's all about the speed. If he can keep his speed right, see the ball shaping through the pins correctly, EJ is going to win this match.
He's got to have it. EJ Tackett doesn't get it.
Yeah, and it was left the whole way.
And that's it. Butturff, the winner on the bench, guys.
I think the speed was right. The break point was wrong. He just didn't get it far enough to the outside part of the lane to allow that rotation to go high flush rather than high.
This is a good 3 boards left at the break point. And he knew it.
Butturff is through. One more against the top seed. Tom Daugherty bowling in his home center. He told us yesterday he's won 15 or so tournaments, different levels throughout his life in this very bowling center. And there he is at the top of the step ladder. He'll take on Jakob Butturff for the guaranteed rate PBA World Championship next on Fox. Tom Terrific is ready to go head-to-head with Buttraw. The championship is on the way from Tampa. This guy knows a thing or two about winning this event, the World Championship. Jason Belmonte, the two-hander from down under, not once, 2017. Celebration, but a second time in 2019. And then with his family all the way from Australia, his wife, the kids were there to watch every moment. And Randy, we called it last year from Vegas at South Point, back to back to back. What a celebration with his family.
Yeah.
Belmo did it again. Amazing. Pretty special, Belmo. What are your memories of those three? What really stands out to you?
Mate, it's just the most grueling event. 4 different patterns, a massive week of bowling. We heard Kimberly mention it earlier in the show, how many games EJ Tackett is going to have bowled this week. And I can tell you that when you bowl on television, your energy gets strapped even more. So the guys that have made the show this week have absolutely earned it. To me, that's one of the things that I'm most proud about when I win the World Championship, is just how grueling it was, and to be the last man standing. It's truly an amazing feat, and I'm very proud of it.
We look forward to the championship match. The top seed, Tom Daugherty, in his hometown, goes head-to-head with the lefty Jakob Butturff. A major championship is on the line here on Fox. The PBA on Fox is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Mortgage rates are historically low. Save money at rate.com today. And by Kia, introducing the all-new Sorrento, the world's first storytelling machine.
Major championships always bring the best out. And this year's have not disappointed.
He's got it! Yeah, keep it going.
Who's going to deliver a major-worthy performance?
Let's go, baby!
The PBA World Championship title match starts now on Fox.
Earl Anthony Trophy awaits the winner. Championship match. The top seed, Tom Daugherty, bowling in a building he knows very well. His home center growing up against Jakob Butturff head-to-head. And if we have a 300 game in this championship match, the winner takes home $1 million. Cool million on the line for a perfect game in our championship match here in Tampa. Butturff gets us started left lane. There's one.
Rolling out of Oakfield Lanes in Brandon, Florida, Tom Daugherty.
TD, Tom Daugherty, has been keeping it 100 since he set the record for the lowest game ever bowled on TV in PBA history. He's been in the game for years, and while he's been able to laugh off his humiliating first appearance, he's not as kind to his opponents. With his unusual one-hand, no-thumb delivery, TD's trying to set himself apart and claim his third PBA title in almost a decade. This is Tom Daugherty.
The 100 is forgettable. New memories, perhaps created today for Dory. Gets started right lane. It's a long wait, the top seed. Good start.
Well, I think what's incredible about Tom's 100 game was the way he handled it. He had fun with it towards the end. Mika bowls 299. He was rooting for Mika's 300 game. Let's take a look at him from profile. Very unusual push away. Most of the time, the modern game players today, the power players, they get the ball into the swing, very early. Tom, that big deliberate push away out in front of him, overextends, and then drops it into the swing. Remember, he doesn't use his thumb. And there's a look at his arsenal.
Ow. Misses the mark this time.
That was a good
Whoa.
shot.
Kind of the same thing that Jason was talking about with E.J. Tackett, and the ball just pushing too far down the lane before it comes around the corner. Get the ball over here to the left side of the 2 pin, throw it into the 6-10, and the ball will take care of the 4.
Challenging. Doesn't meet the challenge. Just gets a 7-pin count early, open for Tom Daugherty.
You know, it's surprising that Tom decided to finish the match on that left lane. For my eyes, I've thought that left lane for the right-handers was the trickier of the two, especially to go through the pins. But he must feel it, he must see it. He's probably bowled on that pair 72,000 times, so he probably knows it better than I do.
Buttraw trying to take advantage, does just that. 20 years his junior. Tom told us the story last night. The proprietor would sometimes overnight lock the kids in, high school kids, in to the center so they could bowl overnight and then wake up first thing in the morning and then race off to high school 45 minutes away. They would bowl overnight, Belmo. Did you do that growing up in Australia?
Never overnight. No, never overnight. Would have been fun.
To say that Tom knows this bowling center might be an understatement. Jakob Butturff doesn't care about that. Cares about a championship. Not the 7-10.
Whoa.
No chance for the $1 million bonus for a 300 game in our championship match. We'll have to wait.
Nice break kicking the 7 out late, only leaving the 10 pin, working on a double.
And we're seeing the end of the last match carry on for Jakob right now. 3 great shots in the pocket. Seems to have a very consistent motion down lane, where early in the match previous, he was seeing a little overreaction. Early hook, not enough hook. But now in between matches, he's worked it out. Tom's going to have to step up in these next few frames and really make Jakob feel the pressure early. Otherwise, this could get away from him.
Tom's not won on tour since 2016, guys. Allen Park, Michigan. Randy, you and I called that. Outside Detroit. Wolf Open. Beat Simo. Beat Barnes. Beat the guy behind us here, Belmo. And Lavoie to win the title match 212-192 back in 2016. It's been a while for Tom Daugherty.
Good looking shot here as he gets the ball to Reed finally down lane. Now, can he duplicate that on the left lane?
Well, he said the last one was a good shot. He was happy with it, and he left himself a split. So he's going to have to make a change. What will it be?
More hand.
Good looking shot, 4th frame. Cuts the lead to 15.
And I think there was a ball change on that left lane. Yeah, good ball change. You heard him say it.
Yeah, also created a little more loft in the fronts there. Just a little bit to miss the front part of the lane, which helped him create a little more rotation as he was able to get through the ball a little more, create more leverage at the bottom. 6-pin did his job.
7 stands this time.
And not the case for the 4-pin for Jakob. And getting back to how many games that Doherty's bowled in this center, I asked him if he's bowled on this pair, which is 43 and 44 much. He said, yeah, it's right in front of the pro shop.
So, yes. Thousands of games here. He couldn't come up with a number when we talked to him yesterday about it.
Thousands.
In the range of 15 titles, different levels, junior on up. So he feels really comfortable. And bowled so well to be the top seed here at the World Championship. Beat Doherty in match play. Butturff handily. Left lane for the lefty. 10-pin.
It's really not much more that Jakob can do right now. He's just hoping that the pins are going to start being more kind to him. The first two shots, the ball went super high flush, and it looks like that if the ball doesn't get to that exact part in the pocket, these 7 pins and these 10 pins may be a thorn in Jakob's side throughout this match.
It's covering a lot of real estate to make that 10-pin, and we've seen Jakob before have issues with spare shooting, but he said one of the keys to success throughout the World Series of Bowling this year was consistent spare shooting.
Tom Daugherty, as we heard about from Belmonte, top of the broadcast, overcoming some pretty serious health issues, a heart attack last year. Full recovery, thankfully. Going for a title today at home.
Oh, baby.
7-9 late. Look at, he got it inside just a little bit. You see it right there. But it still strikes, and that's a huge break for Tom Daugherty. And I really liked his quote to us, guys, when he said, if you're good enough to lead a major, you're good enough to win a major.
It's a good one.
And right now, he's in a major moment, working on 3 in a row. And with a strike, he could take the lead for the first time in this title match.
Stupid song. I didn't pick that.
Not his strike zone. Tom's quite a character. Big Bucks fan. He was so excited that TB12 and the Buccaneers won Super Bowl 55 after the Lightning won the Cup, with the Rays having their great run in the American League Championship. Lost to Randy's Dodgers. Exciting time to be a sports fan here. Exciting time for this guy, Tom Daugherty.
What a ball change on that left lane, Jason, and what a ball reaction he's created.
And that's his natural ball roll that he's worked out throughout the years that just suits this house so well. That's the one that gets a little further right down lane. But boy, did that check up in the right spot.
Sure
still,
did.
And just 10 back.
It looked like it hit a bumper.
Response, Butturff, right lane, yes. Works on a spare in his 6th frame, now down 7 pins.
Well, we just got a text up in the booth that was a ball change for Jakob Butturff, and that's probably the only way we'd be able to tell, right?
Yeah, it's the same type of bowling ball,
right,
just drilled slightly stronger, we're told. So that was what we thought might have happened with that urethane bowling ball going down the lane.
And the lead back to Butturff.
Looking like the 2019 Jakob Butturff, been a big theme of the broadcast here today. With a couple titles and a major. He is locked in. And this guy's going to be a great finish.
Yeah, and we've got to give credit to Jakob and his team. If Tom made a great ball change, so did Jakob. That ball looks a lot better going down the lane than his previous 3 frames.
We'll have the championship match for you uninterrupted. All the way through to crown a winner here in Tampa today. Doherty looks for a 5-bagger, trying to stay hot. Yeah, trip 10. 60 feet to success. Down it goes. Lead change again.
Great execution by Tom Daugherty. These last 5 shots have been aced. And then you could see the great pin action, something that we haven't seen a lot of by the other right-handers today.
Has the nickel, now looks for half a dozen. Go up by 17 in the 8th. Let's try this again.
Come on.
No fans here today. Tom had wished, of course, his kids and friends and family could all be here. They'd be packed to the rafters, cheering them on. They're watching on Fox. Reloads, ready, left lane, yeah!
Yes!
Big strike again for TD.
He's got some room on that left lane now with that ball change, Jason, and he's making it work for him.
More than that, it's room through the pins. Right now, his bowling ball is slapping the 6 pin into the 10. It's going light and mixing them up, and he's also able to go high flush and 10 back. When you're a bowler, when you see your ball do that, it's a wonderful thing.
Man, talk about a back and forth match, huh?
Response for Butturff. This clash of the Titans here. Who's going to stand last? That's the question. As we head to the foundation frame.
I think there's only two things right now that are going to slow Jakob down. It's the one that he overhits and he leaves the 6 pin, or it's the one he underhits and it leaves a flat 7 or the ring 7.
Another lead change? Why not?
But if he keeps it right there, he's going to mix them up, putting pressure on Tom Daugherty right now to close this match out and win his very first major championship.
Turkey for Butturff. 6-bagger for Doherty. Strike fest down the stretch. Back to Tom. Can he respond in the 9th? You better believe it.
Well, you know what? You're doing exactly what you need to do to win your first major. Tom Daugherty cannot be shut out with that strike right there in the 9th. We talked to the younger players. There's not a player that's been on this telecast that were in their 30s. Tom Daugherty is 46 after 56 games. We asked him last night, how do you feel? He says, I feel great. Could you imagine what this place would be like if we had fans allowed in the
Bedlam.
building?
It would be bedlam, Randy.
Well, if that last one was his best shot of the match, he needs to go one step better right now.
A double and 4 to shut out Butturff. Left lane. There's one.
Just painting a picture on that lane tracker there, powered by Kia.
Yeah.
He needs one more just like that.
8 straight strikes. A strike and 4.
He's going to go crazy if this strikes. 20 years in the making right now. First chance of a major championship.
Took a re-rack. Want to think it over here. Earl Anthony Trophy awaits the winner. A guaranteed rate PBA World Championship. A strike. One step closer. Does he have it?
Oh,
yes, he does!
Oh my God!
Yes, he does!
Are you, Randy? I'm going to steal your phrase. Are you kidding me?
Incredible! Strike for Doherty in the most dramatic fashion. He needs 4 for a major.
That may have been the biggest break I've ever seen.
Rob Stone, I hope you were watching. Stay your ass at home. Soccer fans love you.
That was the reference to the 100 game that Rob called.
I did it.
It wasn't me.
That's
It's 4. He'll take 9. Yes! He'll take home the PBA World Championship. For the first time in his career, Tom Daugherty is a major champion on the PBA Tour.
That's a $100,000 roll 2 pin.
Yeah.
That is a first major of his career roll 2 pin.
Yeah.
But let's not forget the other absolute dead pure 9 frames before it.
I mean, he was painting a picture, like you said, and then a $100,000 trip to for his first major victory at age 46.
The pin comes out of the back. Watch it. There it is at the very back.
It pushed the 8 into the deadwood and into the 2.
The shot of the game brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. Mortgage rates are historically low. Save money at rate.com today. Hometown love for Tom Daugherty. The late trip 2 pin gets it done. Incredible.
Is it too soon to say I hope how's his heart feeling right now?
It's unbelievable.
He looks just fine.
He looks pretty happy. He looks pretty happy.
We're glad he's okay.
I'm sorry.
What a match, boys. That was incredible.
This is it, brother. This one means everything. This is awesome. Oakfield, I hope you guys are watching. This is unbelievable. Tampa Bay, brother. We win another one.
Tampa Bay.
You mean Tampa Bay, don't you? The latest Tom hero in Tampa, Florida, as Tom Daugherty joins Tom Brady. And the guaranteed rate PBA Tour, Troupe, Lavoie, and now Doherty put him on the trophy as he wins the World Championship, joined now lane level by Kimberly.
Tom, this moment is 20 years in the making. 20 years. Today you walk away a major champion. You're getting a little teary-eyed here. Tell me what's running through your mind right now.
I'm just glad Rob Stone's not here. That's all I cared about. I don't know. It's been a long 10 years since the 100 game. And man, I've been close. I feel like anytime you make a step ladder in a major, you can win one. I don't know. I got a lucky strike, obviously. I apologize for that. It wasn't my best shot, but I threw the wrong ball in the second frame. Just totally picked up the wrong ball.
Well, I can tell you, everybody, like, it was a collective holding your breath in here because it was slow motion to watch that pin. What was going through your mind when that was happening?
I don't know. I don't know. I was watching it with everybody else. I kind of missed it at the bottom, so I didn't know what the ball was going to do down lane, and it did what it was supposed to, unfortunately. But, you know, this place has some questionable racks, so maybe I played the rack the right way on that shot.
Let's talk about this place, because what's it mean that you won your first major here? You have been in this building for 30-plus years.
Tampa, man. Tampa Bay. It's the home of the champions this year, so I figured I would just continue the tradition, and it worked out. It's awesome.
Well, I know you downplayed it at the top of the show that you had a health scare last year, but how did that change your perspective of the sport, of your life?
I tried to stay a little calm because hopefully the doctor's not watching. He told me to keep my heart rate down as much as I can. So it got a little high there in the 10th. So I managed to get through. It was awesome. I know my girls, Cameron, Casey, or Courtney, are back home watching, and it means everything to me.
Well, congratulations. Take this moment in. You are a major champion today.
Thank you. We did it!
What a day, what a moment for the hometown hero himself, Tom Daugherty. First career major comes today. Tomorrow, the Guaranteed Rate PBA Tour continues live on FS1 at 3 Eastern. It's continuing coverage of the World Series of Bowling with the Roth Holman PBA Doubles Championship. And we'll see more of Tom Daugherty.
He's a leader.
Doubles.
He's a leader going into tomorrow.
Fantastic.
You think Tom Daugherty likes this building or not?
Tonight on Fox, Big East, he does. Men's basketball final between Georgetown and Creighton. Coverage begins with a pregame show at 6 Eastern. Now for Randy Peterson, Jason Belmonte, Kimberly Presley, and the entire crew. It's Dave Ryan saying so long for now from Tampa, Florida. Tampa Bay, if you ask, a guy named Tom Daugherty. You've been watching the PBA on Fox.